Rob McElhenney, the actor and co-owner of Wrexham AFC, in support of FX's Welcome to Wrexham, an awesome series that we've been enjoying for so many years now. Season 4 is premiering on Thursday, 9 Eastern on FX, streaming the next day on Hulu. And from Wrexham AFC, midfielder Elliot Lee and striker Stephen Fletcher are all here in studio right now. It is great to see you guys. Congratulations, number one.
Thank you.
On everything going on right now.
It's been wild. Unprecedented.
It truly is one of the greatest sports stories that is out there right now, of you taking over this side, this franchise in 2020.
No, you cannot call it a franchise.
Okay, sorry.
It is not. It is a club. It is a side.
Oh, my God.
Yes, it is not a franchise.
So I nailed it with side.
Yes, you
and
had it.
Screwed it
then
up.
You just kept talking. You just got to know when to stop. You got to know
Damn it. Okay.
Yeah, and we are talking about football, of course. And you can hear in my voice that I just came from the city of Las Vegas.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, we 3 years ago we said to the lads, if you guys get promoted, we'll send you on a first-class trip to Las Vegas.
Yes.
We thought that was going to happen once. It then happened a second time, and then this year it happened for the very third time, which is the first time in English football that it's ever happened.
So back to back to back that you have been promoted, and back to back, I imagine each time in Vegas gets promoted itself in terms of the bigness and the craziness.
I'll let the guys answer that.
Is it, can that be confirmed?
Yeah, well, 100%. It's got better every year. Yeah.
Well, we have the photographs. It's out there. What are we looking at right here on the screen? That looks like to be a luggage cart that normally would be for luggage. Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know what I was doing there.
What's happening here? What's happening?
I don't know.
This is post pool party, I believe.
Okay. That's the garb that we're seeing right now.
Oh, you can see the sun is still out, so that's not a great sign.
Okay.
Oh,
we're just changing.
No.
We're just changing.
To be fair, anyone who's ever been to Las Vegas has gotten changed in the lobby of
at least we put Who's operating this luggage cart?
That's our defender, Dan Scar.
Yeah.
Oh, right there.
Yes.
Down the.
Dan would be known in American sports as a maniac.
Yeah.
Was there no security? I
believe they were the security.
Yeah.
Trust me, if you've ever spent any time with Ollie or Dan, you would be comfortable with them as security.
And nobody at this establishment red carded anybody. Is what nobody got sent off? Nobody got sent off? No?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. No one got sent off.
Okay. So this is the way it rolls when Wrexham rolls into Las Vegas, Nevada.
Yes. I mean, look, we have been marveling at what they've been able to accomplish over the last few seasons, and we want to make sure they feel like the rock stars that they are.
And do you feel that?
Oh, yeah. 100%, yeah.
How has life changed for you?
It's incredible. It's the obviously I joined 3 years ago when we were in the bottom league, and it's a massive deal what we've done to. When
you were in the National League?
In the National League, yeah.
Okay.
So now to get to the Championship, and as you said, we did it the first year and then the second year, and then people wrote us off again last year, and I think we were tipped to be 16th in the league, and we went and created history.
But how has your life changed? I mean, is it different?
It's so different. Yeah, obviously you have to get used to the cameras around on a daily basis, which is something none of us are used to, and the profile of yourself has gone up because of the documentary, because of all the media attention around Wrexham. It's if you've played soccer in England, it's
by the way, you could say football.
I can say football. Yes. I'll say football.
You don't have to dumb it down for me just because I screwed it up before. I'm cool.
If you're playing football, there's not a club like it. Not at all.
You concur, Stephen?
Yeah, honestly, with what the owners have done for us as a club and as players has been like unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
As you can tell, my voice is still in Vegas.
Is that really what's happening right now?
I'm honestly drunk through osmosis right now.
And Stephen played in the Premier League, and he also played. As you can tell, he is not from the United States. He's from Scotland. And he played for the Scottish national team as well.
Well, again, I would just assume, again, but this is the way I look at things in life. I would just assume you guys were football players just by the hair alone. Like, you've got some serious football hair that's going on right now. But I'm also a follically challenged guy. And trust me, I do have a little bit better sense of things than just to go for the hair on this sort of thing. But right now, Chris, is this the closest you've ever been to a man bun of any sort of situation right now?
Yeah. It's Steven and Seth Rollins. That's the closest I'll ever get to a man bun. Yes.
That's not a bad thing.
I have said though, this is well paid for.
Okay.
Just so you know that.
Well,
I've gone with the philosophy of just as my hair thins to just make it as high as possible. And so I posted a photo on social media this past weekend, and the first comment was, "You won the Wayne Newton lookalike contest." And I looked at the photo, and they were right. And I said to Caitlin, "Why did you let me wear my hair this high?"
And
she said,
"Whatever,
nobody cares."
Whatever. How has everything changed for you, man? I mean, like, because again, you obviously have got a lot going on, but this, along with Ryan too, is something that I imagine gets brought up to you every single time that you're meeting people or anything like that.
Almost every day. Yeah, it's well, look, I remember in the very beginning, and we talked about this in season 1. In fact, I went to the Eagles and I sat down with Jeffrey Lurie.
Yes.
And I asked him his advice. And he gave me a ton of really meaningful advice. But the most important thing he said was, you have to remember that this is an incredible privilege that very few people in the history of the world get to actually enjoy. And you have to have fun. You have to enjoy it. The ups and the downs, and there have been just as many tragedies as there have been triumphs on the pitch. But the truth is, we just have to love every moment of it and be respectful.
How did you choose Wrexham, or did Wrexham choose you?
A little bit of both. Yeah, I wanted to find a town first before we went looking for a club. And so the original conceit was, and I remember the moment that it happened. I was sitting with Caitlin and we were watching television, and I just thought, I had an idea that if you could, I learned about relegation and promotion, which if Americans still don't know what that is, it means you can get kicked out of the league that you're in. So who finished last this year was it the Titans, Tennessee Titans in the NFL?
Yeah.
So ostensibly you'd finish last and you would get kicked out of the NFL.
Yes.
And you would go into the league below that. And then if you came in last place, then you would go to the league below that and below that and below that. And when I learned of that, I realized that you could have a team with incredible history that could be relegated down into oblivion. And so we wanted to find a town, most importantly, that fit with the ethos that I most understood, which was working class Philadelphia.
Right.
And once we found that town, and we found a few of them, but Wrexham was the one that jumped out at us because the history of the club, they've been around since 1864. They've had great success, but they have fallen on hard times. And we knew that if we could just shine the spotlight on them and invest in them and make the story about them, that people would resonate with that.
Look at you guys here. What's the backstory behind this one? I think I can guess it, but go for it, Elliot.
That's promotion last year from League 2 up into League 1. So that was on the pitch straight after.
Right.
Just celebrating another promotion, yeah.
So what has it been like to have these two famous American owners come over and do what's happening right now?
It's been incredible. I think if people don't realise, I know he's my boss, but
yes,
there isn't any other owners like him and Ryan. The care they take of the players, they know our families, they've spent time with our families, and it goes a long way. Me and Steve both play for clubs. You can get owners that care, but you can get owners that don't care at all when you don't even know who they are and they won't know who you are.
Yes.
But with Rob and Ryan, it goes above and beyond care. And that is why we have this amazing environment at Wrexham, and it filters down from the owners. 100%.
Stephen, you want to pop in there?
It's a credit to themselves how they take time out of their day to ask you how your family and that are and your kids, and they know all your kids, and we get to go on the golf course with each other as well. We're still unbeaten on that as well. So
is that right?
I mean, yeah,
he created the game of golf, right?
yes, it was
Correct?
Created in a town, probably the town he grew up in.
Yeah, probably.
I've heard that before. That it was interesting talking to a lot of players that say some of whom have never met the owners of the club, and I can't wrap my head around that. Now, it's also a delicate dance, and I wanted to make sure that as we got into this in the beginning, I reached out to all my friends.
Yeah.
Who are professional athletes or ex-professional athletes, and said, what was the relationship, because I don't want to assume anything, I said, what was the relationship that you would want to have with your owners? Should they keep a healthy distance,
right,
or should they be a part of your lives? And I think, to a person, they said, we would love to have a relationship. Now, you always have to be respectful of what that really means. I never, ever walk into a locker room and try to dictate strategy or anything like that. It's more of a personal relationship. The manager is the one, Phil Parkinson, who's done such an incredible job building this club and then managing them, and we just sort of back out of that. So it's just a personal relationship.
It's amazing, again, for those who are, as you were pointing out, what relegation is or what promotion is, who may not know. This 7-win Colorado Rockies right now here in the middle of May would be in danger of being a AAA franchise by the end of the year if that's what happened in Major League Baseball. And the world of college football, I think relegation is coming. I think 100% this sort of stuff is happening. Promotion, relegation, it just adds an extra sense. What would it mean to get the ultimate promotion? One more time. Rob, like one more time, and you are in the tip top, you are in the Premier League. What would that happen? What would that mean?
So at the end of this season, we were trying to figure out which game, and so many different things had to happen mathematically for the equation to work out. But we got to the end of the season, and I flew out there and I said, guys, I'm with you to the end. I don't know when the last game is going to be. I don't know if we're going to get promoted automatically. I don't know if we're going to go through the playoffs. I don't know if we're going to lose and it's going to happen next year or it's going to happen the year after that. I don't care about that, and I really don't. What's most important to me is to be grateful for the moment that we have right in front of us. So, and I say this with all honesty, I don't care about the next promotion. I care about this one.
Look at you. Now that is ownership right there. That's an ownership response. Right there.
Are you saying I've had media training?
I mean, you've been around the block, Rob, but but when I did say it the first time, you did sort of have a flash on your face.
Sure.
Like this.
Well, you want to win, right? But you want to win.
You want to dominate.
But yeah, of course. But that's the fun of it all, right? So the 90 minutes on the pitch, I can pretend that, or I can actually feel that Tom Brady is a great adversary. But the truth is, as soon as you get off the pitch and you can compartmentalize and recognize that these are human beings who are giving everything of themselves for the badge and the shirt that they wear and the town that they play for. And how can you not respect that, win or lose? So there's a lot of reading Marcus Aurelius on a daily basis that helps with that as well.
I like it.
But ultimately, from a business perspective, it is both exciting and terrifying to think the prospect of the Premier League.
Well, and again, just the way you chronicle it, the word is chronicled, it's awesome. And back to back promotions. Season 4, Welcome to Wrexham, premieres this Thursday, May 15th, 9 Eastern on FX, streaming the next day on Hulu. And there's also, by the way, season 17 of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, premiering Wednesday, the 9th of July on FXX, streaming the next day on Hulu as well. I mean, that's a big-ass number, 17.
Yeah.
For a television show. That is
even a lot of years.
It is. It's a lot of years. I just want to quickly spend a hot second on that. Do you have a favorite Danny DeVito story that you can share to me, please? Here.
Well, there's the fun version of it, and then there's the true version of it.
Okay.
So I'll give you the true. The fun version is when he got buck-ass naked and decided he would just grease himself up like a pig and come through a couch. And when we asked him to do it, he said, "Yeah." I said, "Danny, I want to show you a video," and it was a video of a giraffe being born. And I said, "I want to recreate this." And before I even hit play, he goes, "No, I'll do that." So that is one of my favorite Danny moments.
Before you go on and tell the other one,
yeah,
what's the genesis of wanting Danny DeVito to grease himself up naked and imitate a giraffe being born?
I don't know. I had seen one of those nature videos and thought, well, that's something. How can we take that and synthesize that through the lens of a situational comedy such as It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia? And so that's what we came up with in the writers' room, and Danny was down.
He was down.
Yeah.
And the other story that you have?
The other story is season 1. This is the true one. Season 1. Sorry, both of them happened. They're both true.
Understood.
It's just that one is more profound for me personally.
Okay.
And I remember saying to him, "Hey, if you come in, you're going to ad-lib a little bit of something here because, before you do the lines." And he said, "Well, what should I say?" And I said, "You'd say whatever you want." He said, "No, you write it down and you tell me." And so I was 25 years old at the time. And I was a waiter. I was waiting tables because this was season 1. I had not really I was technically the showrunner, but I didn't know what I was doing. And he said, no, I want you to tell me exactly what to say. And I said, Danny, you're a legend. I grew up watching you. You're the funniest person I've ever met in person. Mm-hmm. I would never presume to tell you what to say. And he said, no, I came onto this show because I want to know what the next generation of people are doing. And I respect you. And I want to understand a little bit more about the world that I live in right now. And the only way that you can do that is by talking to young people. And like, I never forgot that for the rest of my life. And I now, 20 years later, find myself in positions all the time where I have to walk into rooms, and instead of assuming I know what it is, I have to ask. So, you know, when it comes to sports ownership, it's the same thing. I go and I never tell the players anything. Mm-hmm. Most of the time I ask them things, and then we try to execute upon what they want.
So putting it all together, Danny DeVito's moment with you has helped lead to 3
he is the fusion of
promotions of Wrexham AFC in a row, in a way. Is that what you're saying?
That's fair. I would say, okay. He's the perfect fusion of Marcus Aurelius' Stoic philosophy and the birth of a giraffe as pushed through a buck-ass naked middle-aged man on basic cable television.
With a little Louis De Palma mixed in from back in the 70s.
Always.
Man, congratulations again. Season 17 of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia premieres Wednesday, the 9th of July on FXX, streams the next day on Hulu. Welcome to Wrexham. Season 4 premieres this Thursday, May 15th, 9 Eastern on FX, streaming the next day on Hulu. All of it is available right here on the Roku platform. And you announced on Monday night that there's some friendlies going down here with Wrexham, and not just anywhere, right?
Yeah. So we've been fortunate enough to bring the club both to the East Coast and the West Coast of the U.S., but this year we're going to our 3rd biggest market, Australia and possibly New Zealand. But Australia, there's just it's a massive football country, and there's a lot of great interest in playing with Wrexham, so that's what we're going to do.
That's awesome. And you can't wait to hit the luggage carts there, I bet.
Yeah.
Down in Australia.
Yeah, hopefully they'll keep the luggage carts away from us.
This is what I'm so fascinated by, because yes, they are young men, but still, they just played 44 games, probably 50 games if you include all the cup and tournaments, through brutal weather. We then went to Vegas, where they brutalized their bodies for 4 straight days with all sorts of fun accoutrements. And then they have off for like 3 weeks.
Yes.
And then they go back to it, where they have to go to Australia and play a bunch of friendlies and then go back to another 50-game season. It's wild. I don't know how they do it.
How do you do it, Stephen?
I've been doing it now for 22 years. Mm-hmm. This is my 22nd year, doing it, and it doesn't get any easier. But the kind of these trips now, they make it. So you play these 50 games knowing that the outcome is so special, like back to back to back. It's unbelievable.
What about you, man?
Yeah, as Fletcher just said, it's you do it for moments like we've done. The promotions they're the greatest feeling I think that you can get in sports. You can get individual awards, you can do all that, but doing something special like we've done as with a great group of people together is when that final whistle goes, then you've done promotion and all that hard work has paid off year after year after year, like we've done. For me, there's no better feeling.
Well, congrats on everything that's going on, man, with your club, your side.
You can call it a team.
Okay, team.
Just don't call it a franchise.
Never will I ever make that mistake again. Thanks for teaching me the proper way of doing it.
Believe I learned a much more difficult way.
It's great to see you. Thanks for coming on here.
Thank you for having us.
Bet. Everybody check out Welcome to Wrexham Season 4, premiering this coming Thursday, 9 Eastern on FX, streaming the next day on Hulu. Rob McElhenney, Elliot Lee, and Stephen Fletcher here from Wrexham.